I'm Victoria. This is my van. I've been on the road 4 years. Come on inside. Welcome to my kitchen. This is a new kitchen for me. I actually found someone to help me build this kitchen about 1.5 years ago, 3 years and on the road. And I was able to design everything and he built it, which is exactly what I wanted. So I made it a little bit more narrow and just exactly the dimensions that I wanted. After being on the road for so long, I knew exactly what my needs were. So this is kind of my dream kitchen. I've got overhead storage for all my food. I kind of do like powders, breakfast, dinner cans. I have some organization, which is awesome. All my spices are up here on little like twist tops. They're just screwed with 2 screws like into the base of this. Extra spices there. This is actually galvanized steel, which has the benefits of like making a really clean space, but I decided to paint it. So you can see like this is just like oil and grease that is with me and I'm cool with it. I like the aesthetic of like the blue as opposed to like just like harsh metals, but I love it because it's all magnetic. So like it's pretty useful and cleaner than like wood. It's not absorbing like junk. So started on the road with an induction cooktop. Can't believe I did that. And without lithium ion batteries. Induction cooktops are just so dependent on your power source, and so I switched this out even before I redid the kitchen. I've had this stovetop for like a few years. Love cooking with flame. I fill up my propane tank about once a month, and it's just like a 1 gallon. It's really little. I can show you in here. It's just back there, little baby tank. Yep. My sink has worked out awesome. I actually spent like a little extra money for like each inch. I remember budgeting like I want it to be deep enough so that I could like stack dishes in it, and I do that successfully. So it's an awesome sink, and the water pump's 12 volts. It runs louder over the years, but it started off pretty quiet. I think I've run it dry a couple times, but I literally have never had to replace it, so that's been awesome. Overall, this kitchen is, I think, like for van kitchens, as it goes, the dream. I have so much counter space. Like you can open this, put a cutting board here, more counter space. The storage is massive. Like this is all kitchen space, but it's still a van kitchen. So I can't have like a food processor, a Vitamix, a oven, and all the things that I want. An oven. That's what I would do differently. I would literally sacrifice a little bit of my storage in here to put an oven. So that might be the next kitchen upgrade. Yeah. The other part of my kitchen is actually over here. And Luca, the one like con to it is that you have to move whoever is sitting on top or ask people to stand up. But it acts as so much extra seating and a ton of space for my foods. This is my freezer and my fridge. It's like the Nomadic 95 CFX, and I can't believe I spent $1,500 on a mini fridge. I do not regret it. It was literally the best decision I made because, yeah, again, it's time on the road when you have like a freezer and a big fridge. I can go off for like a month pretty easily. So I love decorating my van with rocks, things I find, feathers. Sticky tack is my best friend. All of these rocks are held up with sticky tack. I found them along the way on my journeys, so it's a cool kind of story, and I can remember, where I found each one. I love that the van is just a canvas to put whatever you want, your art, other people's art, or things that you find. Max Air fan. I have 2, one over the kitchen, one over the bedroom. This one is the one with the rain shield, so it opens all the way up and has like the best airflow. I don't use the fans nearly as often as I thought I would. I built the van out in Florida and it was so hot. I used the fans like all the time while I was building. And then when I left and came out west, it's just, I use it for cooking sometimes, or like in the summers for flow, but I more use the back fan to kind of cross them with the door. about 10 years. I went to 4 different universities. I lived in Italy for a year. 4 different universities in different places. Like, just from the time I left high school, I recognized like I wanted a new experience. But I had a lot of stuff. And every time I would move, it would just be like this huge thing to like move from one apartment to the next apartment. And then like to make all the new friends, I moved like, I think it was 20 times before I lived in the van. So when I moved back from Italy, I realized I wanted to travel around America. Like, my time outside of America made me realize like there was so much to see here, so much to appreciate, and I just like hadn't been able to access it in the right way. I was like, I need to get on the road. I read On the Road when I was in Italy. I wanted to hitchhike across the country. I was like, that's it. I'm going to backpack across America. And I told my friends that I was going to do it, told my family I was going to do it. My family was like freaking out. They were like, no, like you can't do it. I'm like, yeah, they said that about Italy. My friends felt the same way. I was like, all right, I need a van. So I started as like, I'll just get a minivan. No, I'll get a Class B camper. And then I saw that people were like building out little tiny homes in vans that you could stand up inside. And it just clicked. I was like, that's what I want. So worked, saved up, built the van. That's a trade-off, like, to some people just do it, just get on the road. Like, you don't have to have everything figured out, but I felt I needed quite a bit figured out just to kind of like embark on this trip, with really the potential of like not ever turning back. And now 4 years later, like, I don't see myself without a van. I love what this life has offered me. It's like more than I thought that it ever would. I thought, okay, I can connect with nature more. I can meet more like-minded people. But it's opened me up in so many more ways. Like, it's just changed my perspective on life, and what's important. And I work, just a couple months each year to afford living for the year. So I'm getting to live a whole lot more than I ever used to. And on my own terms, with like my house with me wherever I go, on all the adventures. I have this nice blackout curtain that I kind of like tuck behind here, tuck up here. Between that and all of my window coverings, I can get my van completely black. So it's nice if I ever want to sleep in. And just for privacy as well. I normally throw that up when I'm in the city, just so people can't like see in the house. This is my swivel seat. That's not a swivel seat. Essentially, like, I just like hacksawed the guide. There's little like backs so that your chair doesn't slide all the way back out. They're tiny, tiny, tiny. So hacksaw that off, and then I just like slide my chair all the way back, turn it. But normally it just stays like this. I added the diesel heater a year ago. Actually, friends put it in for me. I brought it to a van gathering and like cooked pizza, and a bunch of people helped me install it. It was awesome, and like a little bit frustrating, because I had been on the road for 3 years when I got that. And I'm from Florida. I had been so cold so many times. And that diesel heater, I think, was $170 on Amazon. I go to bed at 75 to 80 degrees. I have a little remote control if I get too hot or too cold. And I just cannot believe that I didn't do it sooner. My friend Leah gave me this cargo net. I'm stuffing it too much again because it like really could just like be up here with the window guards. But it's awesome to have just that extra space, because a lot of this stuff used to live like on top of the bench or on top of the chair. So even though it does take a little bit of headroom when I'm like bouncing, especially, totally worth it. This is Luca's bed. This is Luca's bed. This is Luca's bed. Luca has spots, but this is his main chill place. I've got his like dog food right here and some extra storage back there. Welcome to my living space. Again, I decorate with crystals I found. This is like a perfect ledge for me to display some of my finds as well as pictures. This serves as like my bookshelf slash control, like on the sailboat you call it the nav station. So this is what I call this, like my nav station. And fuse board. I did not do the electrical on this van build. I am so grateful to my friend who did. I have an inverter, my inverter. This is like a blackout with duct tape because it's like, honestly, I could take it off now. It's new days. I got lithium ion batteries a few months ago, but for 3 years, this thing would blink bright blue because it was always like below 12.0. And so I finally just decided like, okay, I have battery issues. I don't want to know about it as I'm trying to fall asleep. So I duct taped it. But now I have lithium ion and I go to sleep and like my battery's normally at 13. So it was a big upgrade. So I have two 125 amp lithium ion batteries. So I've got 250 total. Before I had 310 of deep cycle AGM. It's like light years difference because I have the full 250. So when I had 310, I really only had 155. And it was just like the peace of mind switching to lithium ion batteries to not have to follow, like, what am I at? Can I charge this? Can I use this? Because even if I am low and I use something, it's okay. I'm not hurting my battery by draining it. I can like recharge it. Yeah, bookshelf slash like stuff. Everything in the van has a place, and I have an idea for that. But then there's other things where you just add to it. These are all books I haven't read yet. I like switched them. I have other books, other places, so I switch them out. But it's time to start reading a little bit more again. So when I designed this van, I really wanted to host people. That was just the vision I had, is that I'd like head out on the road and make friends and have dinners and game nights. And that has happened so many times in my van because of this long bench. This space like has enough room for 2 people, 3 or 4 in the bed. Like, it's been a party in here. I have this ugly table at this point, but it's really, really large. So, and I love that it's on sliders. Like, if it's full even, like, I can slide to like get out. And the beveled edge is so nice to my hips because I'm like clumsy like that. And then when I push it in, it stays out a little bit just to like have like as a cup holder or something. This storage unit has lost me a little bit. It's massive. It's literally basically like just all the way down storage. And there used to be some organization to it, and I suppose there still is. But this is something that I probably should attend to like every 3 months, like take everything out and figure out what's what, because this is the ultimate stuff place. And even though I have all my rock collection storage in the back, this is probably also like half rocks because it just happens that way. It's amazing to have such a big space in such a small area. I really like, when I designed the van, I wanted it to be as open as possible so I could figure out again what my needs are. So maybe I could build this out a little bit, but it's great that like if I wanted, I could take all of this out and have something really large there. And this goes all the way back. So like this will reach to the end of the van. I can fit something that's like 10 feet long. This is more storage in here. Again, just like really open storage, the whole thing. I store like Luca's extra dog food, wine bottles, extra spices, like kind of a stuff space again. This is my porta potty, and I've had this since I left on the road. To this day, I've never pooped in it. I just use it to pee. I watched some YouTube videos when I was like shopping toilets, and I saw a couple take this toilet into a house to like dump it in a toilet. And it was just like their reaction alone made me realize like, okay, I'm never gonna like just shit in this toilet. So, it's great to have, just to be able to, like, when I'm in the cities or at big van gatherings, like, to have, if it's raining, I love it. But for the most part, I go to the bathroom outside. These are also something that I had the person that built this kitchen help me build. So I changed it to 3 drawers, which is a lot more manageable for my clothes, but it's all clothes. And they now have latches so they don't pop out, but that goes even like a couple more inches back. So massive closet for me. This is just like, again, it's used to be more organized, but this is my like electronics, journal, Weeboo stickers drawer. But it's so big, so I just love being able to like access all of this without having to like dig into something. Another drawer here with a lock on it, just for as I cross like different states and different places, it's nice to be able to lock away certain things. The first 9 months of my travels were very, very lonely. I started in Florida and I knew I wanted to come out west, but I figured like once I got out west, I might not go back east. So I needed to like take my time to see the country. And seeing the country alone is different than seeing the country with other travelers. And it wasn't till I came kind of to the western states, home of BLM and National Forest lands, that I met the community through van gatherings, and then eventually just you meet friends of friends of friends of friends, and your community grows more and more each year. More people are joining this lifestyle. I mean, in the 4 years I've been on the road, it's just kind of exploded. So I think that's what makes this like sustainable. If this was me alone, I maybe could do it for a year as a cool adventure trip, but to have community while being nomadic is one of the most beautiful things ever, because I used to live in a city, make a group of friends, and then leave that city, and essentially like that group of friends I kind of would leave behind. But now all of my friends are moving everywhere, and at any given time I can probably find someone within like an hour or two from me that I can go hiking with, or have dinner with, or camp out with for a couple days. And that is, yeah, the most valuable thing. Everyone's always like, solo female traveler, aren't you scared? Aren't you scared? All my friends ask me if I'm scared, but like I am so rarely alone. Like, it's hard at this point for me to just like go off and be away from my friends, because there's always activities, there's always things going on. You have to be intentional about taking alone time. So yeah, it's amazing though, and it just keeps getting better because like the van fam keeps growing, and with that comes like so much beauty. I have laser tag, but last night like there was karaoke night because someone had karaoke, and when you have a whole community of people, it's really what like makes the life so full, so rich. Like I feel like I have everything because between everyone we do have everything. Welcome to my bedroom. This room has not changed too much over the years, but the biggest improvement I made was adding the skylight, which I did so I could like lay and look at the stars at night. But actually in the daytime, it has added so much light to the space. It makes it feel so much bigger. It does like open up all the way. So for flow, like on a hot day to lay in bed, it's been so great, especially with the door open. That is like more than the max air fan. So Skylight, I highly recommend. I do not play guitar. I want to play guitar. I play guitar sometimes. I know like a couple little exercises. I know one song that I learned 10 years ago, and I can like play that and nothing else. So this is like just a great reminder to play. It being on the wall, it used to just ride in my bed, and then from the bed to the bench, the bench to the bed, like it was crazy. So this is like a really nifty holder that I made of just like copper wire, just like, and some shrink wrap. This little idea was quite a bit of extra work for me on the woodworking side because I didn't know how to build things. So I'm really, really grateful that I did it. It allowed me to have an extra like 3 inches on either side of the bed, and I'm 5'7", so my toes are, you know, touching with the pillow. It's like I needed that extra little space. I normally sleep diagonally, and if I were to do it again, I would have bought the flares to make the van actually wider. I could have a queen size bed this way. I didn't want to put my bed long ways and lose the living room space. So I'm really glad I put it side to side, but it's a little tight. It's so nice to be able to have a bedroom out in nature where I can open these back doors or even just my side door if I want a little bit more privacy, but just to be home wherever you are. And my bedroom is, again, just a canvas for me to put all of my memories, I have like, again, so many photos, art from friends, and it's like my space. It's so cozy. I pull up to a friend's house in a city. They're always like, I've got a guest room. I got a shower. I'm like, yes, shower, no guest room. Like, this is my home. It's been more of my home than any place I've ever lived. Best part of van life for me has been having the time to do my passions and also like figure out exactly what my passions are. Like just having the space to really like do whatever I want has been beautiful. I have been picking up rocks since I was like 5 years old, maybe even younger. Just like always fascinated by different minerals, feathers, things on the ground. And when I started van life, I wanted to like go find crystals and go find rocks in different states. And for the last 4 years, I have made that a real like central focal point of my travels. Like I'm going to meet up with friends. I'm going to like go to hot springs. But if I'm not doing those things, I'm trying to find rocks. And that has just been the most beautiful thing. I can go alone for weeks and be near like a crystal dig spot and feel like I'm just in a meditation retreat because everything is in alignment. Welcome to the outside of my van. I started painting it a few years ago, and I've kind of just kept painting it. I started this journey wanting to be a stealth camper van, and after being on the road about a year, I realized like I didn't want to be that stealthy. I was like spending all my time in national forest, BLM land, and I wanted like my space to be personalized and my own place. Ever since I've painted it, I've had like 4 or 5 interactions where I would have never seen a person that I hadn't seen in like years that calls me and is like, I just saw you, and we get to meet up. And if I was just another big T1N on the road, that wouldn't happen. So the trade-off for me of like losing my stealth has been totally worth it. My van is like forever dirty. I've actually never washed it. Like not one time have I been to the car wash. And I think it's just a matter of priorities. Like maybe I'm like losing a little value in the paint or something, but it's really freeing to not ever worry about getting my van dirty, because it's just like, it's dirty and then it rains and it's clean and then I go in the mud and it gets dirty, and it's just kind of the cycle of life. But yeah, I can have like kind of a canvas too of art. I love putting stickers. You probably noticed them throughout my van, but also on the back of the van about veganism and animal rights. I love spreading the message that, like we should love all animals and treat everyone fairly. I think that's a really cool thing about being able to paint my van and decorate it, is like you can spread a message as you drive across the country and have people kind of think twice about things. It's cool. Welcome to my garage. This is a new upgrade. I just hit a tree. So that's great. Okay, back here is my like kind of electrical system, some car parts because I was having problems with my fuel injector, so I just decided to leave the thing off. I have a 6,000 watt inverter, which is, I mean, it's 3,000 watt, 6,000 watt surge, but I'm able to use a blender, laptops. It's more than enough for all of my electrical needs. And then, like I said, 250 amp hours of lithium ion batteries. I have 300 watts of solar panels up top. Having a little extra solar to fill the 250 is working awesome. And I don't have much more room for solar unless I was going to switch out the panels like for more space efficient ones. Like my roof is pretty spoken for. And this is laser tag. This is outdoor laser tag with like vests and 100-foot range. I play laser tag every once in a while. Almost all of this down here is rock hounding gear. It's chisels and hammers and strains and gold pans and gloves and pads, like knee pads, and rocks, like so many crystals throughout my van. I've got like up here kind of an adventure box. Yeah, this whole back there goes again almost like 8 feet that way. So I have 2 camping backpacks, a tent, roller blades, shovel, like a big pickaxe, lots of like home improvement stuff that I always forget that I have and I buy another one of because it's like so deep in there, like extra paint or glues or things like that. I left this again kind of open so that I could put whatever, and I thought, oh, I'll build it out later if I need to, but fitting like these just tote boxes, that is like all the organization I need. I love that I can kind of change what I put in here, and it has changed over the years. Like I didn't used to have laser tag. My favorite thing is really just being able to have the time to be really present with like your surrounding area and like be in nature. And so for me, like it's just made everything so accessible. All the things I love, the van brings me to. Thank you so much for watching my tour, and I go by Nomadic Vantasy on Instagram. I post sometimes twice a month, sometimes not for a couple months, but yeah, check it out if you want to see my journey.